The UK is not only famous for its haunted castles, ancient ruins, and eerie historical sites, but its grand palaces are also home to some of the most chilling ghost stories in the world. These royal residences, once filled with kings, queens, and courtiers, now echo with whispers from the past. From ghostly queens and headless figures to haunted staircases and cursed rooms, the palaces of Britain hold dark secrets behind their majestic walls. Whether it's Hampton Court or St. James Palace, these iconic landmarks are as terrifying as they are beautiful, hiding centuries of supernatural mystery and royal hauntings. Now we will visit the most haunted palaces in the UK. Number 1. Hampton Court Palace. Hampton Court Palace in London is one of the most haunted and terrifying royal places in the UK. Built in the early 1500s and once home to King Henry VIII, this palace is not only known for its stunning architecture, but also for its long and chilling history of ghostly activity. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt the palace is Catherine Howard, Henry VIII's fifth wife. She was accused of adultery and dragged screaming through the haunted gallery to her death. Visitors still report hearing her terrified screams and feeling a cold chill in the gallery. Another ghost is Jane Seymour, Henry's third wife, who died shortly after giving birth. People have seen a pale lady in white carrying a candle, walking slowly through the cobbled courtyard known as Clock Court, believed to be her spirit mourning her lost life. The Grey Lady, believed to be Dame Sybil Penn, a servant to royalty, is said to roam the palace. Her ghost reportedly appeared after her tomb was disturbed during renovations. People have heard the sound of spinning wheels and sudden cold winds around her former chamber. In 2003, CCTV cameras captured a ghostly figure dressed in old robes slamming doors shut in the palace. The footage caused worldwide headlines and remains unexplained to this day. Many visitors and staff have experienced sudden drops in temperature, unexplained footsteps, ghostly whispers, and even the feeling of being watched or touched when no one is around. With its long history, royal tragedies, and chilling sightings, Hampton Court Palace stands as one of the most haunted places in the UK, where the past refuses to rest and the ghosts of history continue to walk its ancient halls. Number 2. Kensington Palace. Kensington Palace in London is not only a royal residence, but also one of the most haunted and terrifying palaces in the UK. Behind its elegant beauty lies a long, eerie history filled with sorrow, secrets, and ghostly sightings. Once home to Queen Victoria, Princess Diana, and other royal figures, the palace is said to be haunted by several restless spirits who still linger within its grand halls and shadowy rooms. One of the most famous ghostly residents is King George II, who died in the palace in 1760. His ghost is often heard shouting or calling out from a window in frustration. Some say he still watches for messengers from Hanover, even in death. His presence is felt in the King's Gallery, where unexplained cold spots and eerie silence often fall. Another spirit believed to haunt the palace is Queen Mary II, who died of smallpox in 1694. People report seeing a pale figure dressed in regal clothing quietly walking through the Queen's apartments and vanishing through walls. There are also reports of ghostly children's laughter in the nursery areas, believed to be echoes from long-dead royal offspring. Strange tapping sounds, disembodied footsteps, and shadows moving without explanation have been experienced by staff and visitors. Many believe Princess Diana's spirit may still linger. Though not officially confirmed, some claim to have felt her presence or seen a gentle figure watching from a window late at night. Kensington Palace may be a beautiful royal home, but its atmosphere holds something mysterious and chilling. With centuries of royal life, death, and emotion stored within its walls, it remains one of London's most haunted and spiritually active palaces. Number 3. Holyrood Palace. Holyrood Palace in Edinburgh, Scotland, is one of the most haunted and terrifying royal palaces in the UK. Known as the official residence of the monarch in Scotland, its beautiful halls and grand rooms hide centuries of dark history, betrayal, murder, and ghostly activity that still chills the air today. One of the most famous ghost stories is that of David Rizzio, the private secretary and close friend of Mary, Queen of Scots. In 1566, Rizzio was brutally murdered by Mary's jealous husband, Lord Darnley, and his followers. He was stabbed over 50 times right in front of the pregnant queen in her private chambers. Visitors claim to hear screams, footsteps, and cries echoing from the old rooms, and some say the bloodstains still reappear on the wooden floor, no matter how many times they are cleaned. Another haunting figure is Lord Darnley himself, who met a mysterious death just months after Rizzio's murder. His ghost is said to roam the palace grounds, seeking revenge or redemption for his violent past. The palace is also haunted by the Grey Lady, believed to be the spirit of a nun who died during the Reformation. Her silent figure is often seen gliding through the cloisters at night. Guests and staff have reported hearing unexplained footsteps, doors slamming on their own, and sudden drops in temperature. Many feel watched while walking through the older parts of the palace. Though Holyrood Palace shines with royal beauty during the day, by night it becomes a place of whispers, shadows, and sorrow. Its walls have witnessed tragedy and betrayal, making it one of the most haunted and terrifying palaces in all of Scotland. Number 4. Eltham Palace. Eltham Palace in London is a stunning blend of medieval history and 1930s glamour, but beneath its beauty lies a haunted and terrifying past. Once a royal residence for kings like Edward III and Henry VIII, Eltham Palace has witnessed centuries of dramatic events, sorrow, and chilling supernatural encounters that continue to haunt its ancient and modern halls. The palace's most haunted part is the Great Hall, dating back to the 1470s. Visitors and staff often report hearing ghostly whispers, sudden footsteps on the wooden floors, and the strange feeling of being watched. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures in old-fashioned clothing silently gliding through the hall before disappearing into thin air. Another terrifying legend surrounds a ghostly monk who is said to roam the grounds. He is believed to be the spirit of a long-dead cleric from the nearby church who met a violent end. His dark-robed figure has been seen walking through walls and vanishing into the garden during foggy evenings. When the wealthy Courtauld family restored and lived in Eltham Palace in the 1930s, they too experienced paranormal activity. Guests often refused to sleep in certain rooms due to strange noises, freezing drafts, and unexplained movements at night. In the basement, used as an air raid shelter during World War II, people report hearing eerie crying and whispers, thought to be the echoes of terrified children and families hiding during bombings. Lights turn on and off by themselves. Objects move without reason, and a constant sense of unease lingers in some rooms. Though beautifully preserved, Eltham Palace carries centuries of haunted energy, making it not just a royal treasure, but one of the most chilling and mysterious palaces in the UK. Number 5. Falkland Palace. Falkland Palace in Scotland is one of the most haunted and terrifying palaces in the UK. Nestled in the quiet village of Falkland, this grand Renaissance-style palace was once a beloved retreat for Mary, Queen of Scots, and other Scottish royals. But behind its beauty lies a long, chilling history filled with ghost stories, tragic deaths, and supernatural activity that still lingers today. The most famous spirit said to haunt Falkland Palace is Mary, Queen of Scots herself. Visitors and staff have reported seeing a tall woman in a dark gown looking out from the tower where she once stayed. Some claim to hear her weeping late at night, and a few have even seen her ghostly figure walking through the gardens where she used to hunt and ride. One of the most unsettling areas is the Royal Chapel, where people have experienced sudden cold chills, strange tapping noises, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. Lights flicker, and unexplained shadows have been seen moving near the ancient altar. Another famous ghost is the White Lady, a glowing female figure often spotted in the courtyard and the Queen's bedroom. Some say she appears to be searching for something or someone lost long ago. Staff and visitors also speak of hearing footsteps in empty hallways, doors creaking open without explanation, and disembodied voices whispering in Old Scots tongue. Some have even claimed to feel invisible hands brushing their shoulders in narrow staircases. Despite its royal charm and scenic beauty, Falkland Palace carries a heavy, haunted atmosphere. with spirits from Scotland's troubled royal past still wandering its rooms and grounds. It remains one of the most mysterious and frightening palaces in all of Britain. Number 6. Scone Palace. Scone Palace in Perth, Scotland, is not only a place of deep royal significance, but also one of the most haunted and terrifying palaces in the UK. Known as the ancient crowning place of Scottish kings, including Macbeth and Robert the Bruce, Scone is steeped in history, mystery, and ghostly legends that have echoed through its halls for centuries. The most famous ghost said to haunt the palace is the spirit of the Black Douglas, a fierce Scottish warrior and loyal ally to Robert the Bruce. His ghost is often seen roaming the grounds at night, dressed in dark armor. Witnesses describe hearing heavy footsteps, clanking metal, and a strong presence that fills the air with dread. One of the most chilling hauntings is that of the Green Lady, a ghostly woman in a green dress who appears in the palace's corridors. It's believed she died of a broken heart, and her spirit has been seen gliding silently through walls or vanishing around corners. Some have felt a sudden cold breeze when she is near. The palace's long gallery is said to be especially haunted. Guests have reported cold spots, flickering lights, and unexplained whispers. Some even claim to have seen ghostly figures standing silently at the far end of the room. Scone Palace was also once the home of the Stone of Destiny, used in coronation ceremonies. Some believe its removal from the grounds awoke ancient spirits that now refuse to rest. Staff report objects moving on their own, sudden drops in temperature, and a strange energy that seems to watch every move. With royal ghosts, heartbroken spirits, and centuries of blood-stained history, Scone Palace remains one of Scotland's most haunted and chilling royal sites. Number 7. Dunfermline Palace. Dunfermline Palace in Scotland, now a majestic ruin beside Dunfermline Abbey, was once a royal residence for Scottish monarchs, including King Robert the Bruce, and the birthplace of King Charles I. Though crumbling, its ancient stones still carry echoes of centuries past, filled with tragedy, betrayal, and terrifying ghostly tales that make it one of the most haunted and chilling palaces in Scotland. One of the most well-known spirits said to haunt the palace is the White Lady. Believed to be the ghost of a noblewoman who died in heartbreak or betrayal, she is often seen near the old tower, dressed in a flowing white gown. Her ghostly form glides silently through the ruins, and her pale face has been seen gazing out from broken windows. Witnesses report a sudden drop in temperature and an overwhelming sense of sorrow when she appears. The Royal Crypt area near the Abbey is also known for paranormal activity. Strange lights have been seen floating above the burial sites, and some visitors claim to hear ghostly chanting, possibly the voices of monks or lost souls. Another chilling tale speaks of King Robert the Bruce, buried nearby. Though not a haunting in the traditional sense, many believe his spirit still watches over the site, especially on stormy nights when the wind howls through the ruins like ancient war cries. Locals and tourists have reported eerie whispers, phantom footsteps, and the feeling of being watched while exploring the palace grounds. Some even say that their cameras and phones suddenly stop working near the oldest parts of the structure. Though Dunfermline Palace no longer houses royalty, its broken walls still hold the presence of those who lived, loved, and died there, making it a truly haunted and terrifying place in Scottish history. Number 8. Kew Palace. Kew Palace, tucked within the peaceful grounds of Kew Gardens in London, is one of the smallest but most hauntingly eerie royal residences in the UK. Though charming in appearance, this 17th-century red brick palace holds a dark and tragic history, filled with emotional turmoil, death, and ghostly whispers that continue to echo through its narrow corridors. One of the most disturbing stories linked to Kew Palace surrounds King George III, who spent long, painful periods here during his battle with mental illness. Locked away from the public eye, George III reportedly screamed in agony and confusion, his mind slipping further into madness. Staff and visitors have reported hearing ghostly cries and moans from the upper floors, believed to be echoes of the tormented king. Some even claim to have seen a shadowy figure in regal attire pacing near the windows where he was once confined. The palace is also said to be haunted by the spirit of Queen Charlotte, George III's beloved wife, who died in sorrow after watching her husband's mental health decline. Her sad figure, dressed in mourning black, has reportedly been seen gliding silently through the Queen's boudoir and along the staircases. Cold spots, flickering candles, and a heavy, mournful atmosphere are often experienced in the rooms she once used. There are also strange reports of phantom footsteps, doors creaking open on their own, and an unseen presence brushing past visitors in the tight hallways. Some staff refuse to be in the palace alone after dark, citing strange noises and sudden feelings of dread. Though small in size, Kew Palace carries a heavy weight of royal suffering and sorrow, making it one of the most haunted and emotionally chilling palaces in all of London. Number 9. Blenheim Palace. Blenheim Palace, located in Oxfordshire, is one of the grandest stately homes in the UK, but beneath its majestic beauty and royal connections lies a dark and chilling legacy. Known for being the birthplace of Sir Winston Churchill, Blenheim is also infamous for its haunted halls, restless spirits, and terrifying ghost stories passed down through generations. One of the most famous tales is that of the unknown lady in white. This mysterious figure is often seen drifting through the long library or along the grand staircases. No one knows exactly who she is, but her ghostly presence is always accompanied by an icy chill, and she vanishes whenever approached. Staff and visitors alike have reported feeling watched, only to turn and find no one there. Perhaps the most terrifying haunting is connected to the second Duchess of Marlborough, who was known for her cruel and controlling nature. It is said that her spirit remains in the palace, angry and restless. Strange bangs, heavy footsteps, and sudden slamming doors are often heard near her former chambers, especially late at night. There are also reports of phantom children laughing and running in the corridors, despite the palace being completely empty. Some say they are the ghosts of young nobles who died tragically on the estate long ago. One wing of the palace was once sealed off due to repeated supernatural disturbances, including moving furniture, whispers in the dark, and unexplained temperature drops. Security guards have refused to patrol certain areas alone after dark. Though magnificent in appearance, Blenheim Palace hides a sinister side. Haunted by tormented souls and royal ghosts, it stands as one of the most terrifying and paranormally active palaces in Britain. Number 10. Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace, the iconic heart of the British monarchy in London, may seem like a symbol of royal elegance and power, but behind its grand facade lies a chilling and hidden world of ghostly tales and supernatural mysteries. With over 700 rooms and centuries of royal history, Buckingham Palace has witnessed untold sorrow, secrets, and strange occurrences that make it one of the most haunted palaces in the UK. One of the most spine-chilling stories is that of Major John Gwynne, a royal aide who worked at the palace during the reign of King Edward VII. After a failed divorce scandal and disgrace, he tragically took his own life by shooting himself inside the palace. His tormented spirit is said to haunt the first-floor offices, where strange sounds of sobbing and phantom footsteps echo through the corridors. Staff have reported hearing a gunshot in the silence of night, yet no source is ever found. Another eerie tale surrounds the palace's rear terrace, where a monk in brown robes has been seen silently pacing. Some believe he is a remnant of a monastery that once stood on the ground centuries before the palace was built. His presence is often accompanied by sudden cold drafts and flickering lights. Whispers in the royal bedrooms, mysterious tapping on the walls, and shadowy figures glimpsed in mirrors have all been reported by palace workers over the years. Some guards claim to feel invisible hands tug at their uniforms during night patrols. Despite being a working palace and residence to kings and queens, Buckingham Palace holds many secrets, its hidden haunted history filled with restless spirits, tragic figures, and unexplained terrors that reveal a darker, more terrifying side of Britain's most famous royal home. Number 11. Greenwich Palace. Though no longer standing in its original form, Greenwich Palace in London, once one of the most magnificent Tudor royal homes, is said to be one of the most haunted and terrifying places in England. Today, the site is occupied by the Old Royal Naval College, but the spirits and tragedies of the past are far from forgotten. The palace was a favorite residence of King Henry VIII, and the birthplace of both Queen Mary I and Queen Elizabeth I, making it steeped in royal history and sorrow. One of the most terrifying hauntings linked to the site is that of Queen Mary I, known as Bloody Mary. Her tormented spirit is said to appear in the shadows of the former palace grounds. Witnesses describe seeing a ghostly woman in Tudor dress with a grief-stricken face, wandering the grounds at twilight. She is believed to be searching for the souls of those who perished during her violent reign. Even more unsettling are the reports from the Painted Hall and underground tunnels of the old Royal Naval College. Staff and visitors have heard unexplained footsteps, muffled cries, and doors slamming with no one nearby. The tunnels, once thought to be part of the original palace cellars, are rumored to be filled with cold spots, disembodied whispers, and sudden apparitions of long-dead servants. There are also stories of a faceless monk, believed to date back to a monastery that existed on the site before the palace. His hooded figure has been spotted gliding silently through the courtyard before vanishing into walls. Though the palace itself is long gone, its legacy of tragedy, royal unrest, and paranormal activity makes Greenwich one of the most chilling and haunted palace sites in British history.